TRT and anxiety. So does TRT help anxiety or could it cause it?
First and foremost, we have to remember why guys are getting on TRT in the first place. For the most part, if you're getting on TRT for the right reasons, I don't mean for curiosity, and I don't mean because your total T was 750 and your free was 18 and you figure that your biceps are too small and you need TRT, but if you're getting on it for the right medical reasons, which is a clinical deficiency, and I say that with a grain of salt because as we know, it's not really about the numbers, it's more so about the symptoms as well, but if you truly need TRT, chances are that you've probably lived in a state of suboptimal mental health for a period of time. How long? That's going to come down to the individual. Some guys are already on some anxiety medication or depression medication. Some guys are not, but they should be. And some guys are not and they shouldn't be, but it doesn't mean that they don't suffer from anxiety. First, we have to identify anxiety. Anxiety is a natural fight or flight response that our body creates, primarily from the adrenal cortex, and it is controlled by the sympathetic nervous system. And it is a system designed for survival, but it is not designed to live in a chronic state day in and day out. It is designed from the days when we had to go and hunt and gather and feed our family, and we didn't know if the next meal was an hour away or a week away, and we had to make do with what we had available to us. So when you're rolling down the mountain and you find a saber-toothed tiger, in an instant, you have to decide, am I going to run away or am I going to fight and have dinner? And this is what this system is designed to do. That spike in stress hormones, epinephrine, norepinephrine, cortisol, that release essentially increases heart rate, it increases blood pressure, it'll dilate your pupils, it'll slow down, increase your rate of breathing, slow down time in a sense, or your perception of time, to allow you to think faster and react faster. This is good in that situation. Now, if I want a meal, I go to the supermarket or the restaurant or I get on Grubhub. I no longer need to have a stressful response for my next meal, and I'm not likely to die by stepping outside of my cave. So because of that, to have this response occur because I can't pay my bills or my mortgage is due, or my wife is yelling at me or my kids haven't done their homework, and this happening 15 times a day, creates an undue state of anxiety, which is known as allostatic loads. Allostatic loads are essentially a psychological condition of stress that is induced in a chronic state that ultimately leads to physiological decline in overall health. It will wear you down and age you prematurely. A little bit of anxiety is good. If you have an exam coming up, that anxiety is a motivating factor to study. That anxiety is something to go and you know, you want to lose weight and you're a little anxious and you're going to hit the gym. You use anxiety in your favor. When anxiety overbears you and becomes a significant force of hindering your quality of life on a daily basis, that becomes an issue. Most guys starting TRT already suffer a level of anxiety. Now they're introducing something that they've probably researched for an extended period of time. They have expectations. They read the good, they read the bad. They're trying to decipher the information. They're starting something that they're probably a little nervous about, especially if it's injections. We have the social stigma, we have the anxiety and fear of needles perhaps. Whatever the case may be, they don't know how they're going to feel. So the state of anxiety induced by the treatment itself, the anxiety induced by the expected outcome and the uncertainty of how it's going to affect you, combined with the anxiety that was likely present before you began due to an imbalance in hormones, gives you a compounded effect, which is what we call, I guess, part of that honeymoon phase, which isn't always necessarily good. It can also be bad, but it is that essential key first 8 to 12 weeks. And we find that guys are most likely to have the most amount of issues in that time period psychologically, because every day they want to change their protocol and every day they want to add compounds and remove compounds. They'll literally sneeze 3 times instead of 2 and they'll blame testosterone. They'll fall asleep at 11:30 instead of 10:30 and they'll blame testosterone. They'll wake up with an erection that wasn't as good as the one a week ago and they'll blame testosterone. Everything in their life all of a sudden becomes engulfed over this newfound miracle cure that they just began. So my biggest recommendation and request for guys starting TRT, set it, forget it. Give it time to work. It does not work. It's literally a placebo effect. These guys coming in saying, I took my injection on Tuesday and Wednesday I felt great. That's phenomenal. Placebo is a real thing. And I'm happy that you're so excited over this new journey that you actually are feeling euphoric about it. It is not your hormone levels causing this just yet. It does take time. And if you let it do its thing, you're going to have a much easier journey and you're going to have more success sooner that is sustainable and keepable for the long term, rather than having this accelerated state of anxiety and having a compounded effect of having to continually come in and challenge and question every single thing you're doing. So the biggest thing is set it, take a step back, don't change a thing, go back, see how you're feeling in 2 months, check your labs again, and have a conversation. Don't expect too much, but don't also go blaming it for everything that goes wrong in your life. It literally comes down to understanding what causes anxiety and how to relieve it. Yes, we know there's a direct effect of neurotransmitter balance in the brain from a state of low sex hormones to a state of optimal sex hormones. Again, these things take time and it's not miracle. Testosterone is not a CNS stimulant. It's not like having a cup of coffee where it kicks in 10 minutes. That's not how it works. You literally just have to take a deep breath, sit back and let it work.